Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer and I'm an autism consultant, and today I'm going to be sharing some strategies with you for telling stories in an engaging way, whether you are telling them virtually like we pretty much all are now, or whether you are telling them in person, which you will be again, hopefully in the very near future. And today we are going to be reading a story that is called I Ain't Gonna Paint No More. It's by Karen Beaumont and it's illustrated by David Catro. And some of the strategies that I'm going to be using today are keeping the kids involved by using anticipatory pauses and asking questions during the story. And I'm going to be using some props. Some of the props that I'm going to be using today are myself, and I'm going to be using some of these color crayons. And I'm also going to be using animation using fun voices and also my facial expressions. And here we go. I'm also going to be bringing the story up so that you guys can see it. That's really important, especially when you're telling the story virtually. It's also important when you're telling the story in front of a live child audience. So without further delay, here we go. One day my mama caught me painting pictures on the floor, and the ceiling, and the walls, and the curtains and the door, and I heard my mama holler like she never did before. You ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. That's what I say, but there ain't no way that I ain't gonna paint no more. So I took some red and I paint my head. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Oh, what the heck? I'm gonna paint my neck. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I just can't rest until I paint my chest. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Guess there ain't no harm if I paint my arm. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I just can't stand not to paint my hand. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Then I see some black, so I paint my back. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Like an Easter egg, I'm gonna paint my leg. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I ain't complete until I paint my feet. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I'm such a nut. I'm gonna paint my what? I think he was gonna say mutt. Y'all, don't faint, because there ain't no paint. So I ain't gonna paint no more. He's not, because his mom put him in the bath. See right there? He and the dog that he painted have to take a nice long bath to get all of that paint off of him. What a great story. Now, just to recap, some of the strategies that I used today were using props, which included the crayons. I did not have a black crayon. Sometimes that happens. And I also used myself, pointing to my head, pointing to my legs, pointing to my hands. And then I brought the story across the camera so that you guys could see. I am new, a total novice to filming and video editing, so I'm not perfect at this. You may have to play around with how to get the book at an angle that you're happy with. But again, we're not aiming for perfection here. We're just aiming to have fun on camera with our kids and keep them engaged. And also, I used a fun and a fun and lighthearted voice, trying to match the tone of the story to keep it engaging for the kiddos. I am going to post a tip sheet with this, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Bye, guys.